just wanted you to weigh in on whether India should now follow her own path. Should we sync this with what the Federal Reserve is likely to do? And that also is a lack of clarity. And how concerning are our inflation figures?
So first, inflation, I'm quite okay. We are currently 5.1% if I go by the monthly figures in January and February. I've never been an inflation hawk in the sense of, taking it down to 2% or 2.5%, 3%. If we get there without pain and with rising incomes and rising employment, that's all good. But certainly 5% is very much within my tolerance, my personal tolerance limit on inflation. I in fact think that that kind of inflation generally is helpful because in a growing economy, an economy that's growing in real terms 7 to 8%, you need to give some space to the prices to adjust, meaning the relative prices to adjust. If inflation is extremely low, given the fact that very few prices have the tendency, except the agricultural prices, but other than that, most other prices don't actually fall. And so therefore, the adjustment in the relative prices usually takes place through rising prices. So some room for the relative prices, which are ultimately the signals to the investors that where should the investment go. There actually is a signal that the relative prices pass on to the entrepreneurs. It works well if you got some rise in prices of 4 to 5%. So currently we are 5%. I'm okay with that. On the interest rate question, really, I would really leave it to our central bank. Reserve Bank of India has really navigated this extremely well. I'm generally happy with how they have done it. And so I'd rather not second guess them.
What are the big changes you see post-July or post-June when you have elections, and then in July the first budget that the new government will present after us? Because we're lagging on indicators like FDI inflows, a lot of FPI investments also sitting on the sidelines. Do you see these aspects turning tide in the second half of the year from the Indian perspective?
Yes, I think, Tamanna, that should turn around. We didn't talk about FDI, but FDI has been tepid in the first 6 months of the current fiscal year. And part of it, of course, is explained by the fact that FDI flows have themselves slowed down because of the rise that happened in the interest rates around then. We are talking about the first 6 months of the current fiscal year. But this needs to turn around, and it's very probable that even though the general mood is that the Prime Minister is coming back, investors may still want to see it happen, and so perhaps we will see that turnaround. Election is not very far away now. 4th of June we will all know what the outcome is. And that I think should clear up any doubts or uncertainties that are in the investors' minds. We would also know actually, Prime Minister, one hears, I remember that as the chair of the Finance Commission, I am not a part of the government. This is a constitutional body which is independent and neutral. So I do not know, but from what I see in the press, there's going to be big actions happening in the first 100 days of the Prime Minister, and that would certainly for the investors clear a lot of the uncertainty that they may feel exists.